What's up, all my Power Rats crew? Today's video, we're working on a Ford F-150. Yeah, I know it's not a Jeep, but hey, sometimes you gotta use some people use their Ford F-150s to pull their Jeeps around to go wheeling, right? So, what's the problem with this F-150? This contraption right here, this is your gas fill door. Right here's where you put your pump in to fill up. Very common issue with this gas door. Now, this gas door is not only used in the F-150s, it's also used in several other cars as well. And the same issue happens to them as well. This right here is a plastic pin. There's a spring that goes on top of this, but I've got it off right now for demonstration purposes for the opening of the video. This pin goes through here, acts as a hinge. Now at the bottom here, they do a little flat, I can't say weld, but they melt it on the end to prevent that pin from coming back up. Which, what happens is, that down there breaks, this pin right here starts moving, the spring turns loose, next thing you know, you're going down the road and your gas door is hanging out like this right here. Not good. So what's the fix, you say? It's really easy, it's very inexpensive, and I'll just show you how to do it, alright? Now before we get this video started, I want to apologize up front, because whenever I did the install of the gas filler lid in his truck, I was using my phone to do the video with, and apparently my phone was having anxiety issues or something that day. It was acting really weird. So I want to apologize up front for that, but there's enough information there for you to get the gist of what's going on to make the install much easier than trying to figure it out for yourself. So with that being said, let's roll this. Here's the upgraded hinge kit. It comes with this little piece right here. Is what your spring hooks into. This is the axle that goes through here. You're going to replace all this right here. Then this screws on the top of that. And I bet you I'm going to go out in the shop and get me some Loctite to make sure that never comes loose. The first thing we got to do is get the spring off there so we can get the original hinge out. Now this is a new part, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the hinge so he doesn't have any problems later on down the road. Kenny's a good old dude, so I want to take care of him. Now to get the spring off, what you want to do is kind of hold on right here, take your thumb, this curved end of the wire right here, push, and let it come up like that. Then you got to rotate it around this way. Bring it down, unhook it. Now I'm going to show you again here in a moment when we put the new axle kit in, or the new hinge kit. But it's going to come back in from the bottom here, back around. And the only reason I express that is I watched some video where the guy had his spring was stuck outward, stuck out like this right here. It was on top of all that. This hanging out here right there, if you get inside the fender or something like that, it's just not the way it's supposed to be. So it's more likelihood of that spring getting hit and knock something off, and it's going to be all out of whack and stuff. So put your spring back in like it's supposed to be. Now we're going to see about getting this hinge out of there. So I got me a little pair of cutters here, and I'm just going to simply cut that plastic tip off right there. I'm going to cover it up so it don't go flying, and now I have to go looking for it, because I'm just doing this on here in the house. We'll go outside a little bit. See if that was enough. There we go. See, now it's pulling. See right there? Pull it down on it. It's pulling right through. And there it is. Now, if you look how the hinge, get the camera to focus on it. It's got this ridge right down through here, and it's really flimsy. This little axle kit right here is like super flimsy. They're very prone to breaking. It's a very common issue with these things right here, of the door hanging wide open, as you'll see. So this hinge is like super freaking flimsy. Yuck, bad. Now we're going to upgrade our hinge. Part out. Got this. There's that. It's a beautiful day outside, so I should have come out here to begin with. Come out here to get my thread locker, didn't have any, so I ran to the store to get some. So what you want to do is take your axle here. It's going to go inside here, but before you do put it inside there, you want to take you a little bit of thread locker red, because you want that thing not to come back off at any point in time, because it's up inside that fender, and you don't want that thing coming loose while it's up inside there. It's a thread locker gel, so therefore it kind of stays put on the threads, but make sure no more is dripping. Because what you don't want to do is whenever you insert it up inside here, you don't want that thread locker to get inside here to cause issues and then jamming up and stuff. So now we're taking this part. There's a certain little groove down inside there that this locks into. You see we've got this tab right here? Well, this tab sits inside of a certain groove down inside here, like that. Because that tab is what works. The spring, it locks that spring in place for the door to actually back and forth and to lock it and stuff. Skipper, get that rascal. So, see, it's the way it goes. Now we're going to take our hinge axle, put our washer on there, hold it like this. Because if you go like that, I'm just taking the risk of taking that thread locker and smearing it inside the shaft here. So I'm going to hold it like this. And now there's going to come a point to where it feels like it's hard to push, but give it a little extra oomph and to get it on through there. Because inside there, you've got little mold marks. You see like this line right here? Up inside there, there's little places where the mold marks is kind of hard for that shaft to slide through, because the shaft here fits a lot snugger, much more snug than that piece of junk axle right there, or pin, or whatever you want to call it. Slide that up inside there, boom, it hits. Oh no, it didn't go no further. Now we're going to take this right here, start turning it, threading it like a bolt. 5/16 wrench. Don't crank it tight, because after all, this is just aluminum. And also too, if you get crazy on tightening it out too much, you've got that plastic inside here that this is engaging into, you could possibly damage that. So once it bottoms out, the door right here will kind of hold it in place. Kind of give it a little bump snug. You're good to go. Now we're going to take our spring. I'm having a brain fart. Here we go. It comes up from the bottom like this, swings in like that, swings back like this. Now we got to take it, push spring in like that, and we're good to go. Doot, 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 doot. Sweet. Now that metal axle right there, or aluminum axle, or pin, or hinge kit, whatever you want to call it, is going to be much stronger, much more reliable than this junky little plastic thing. Yes, you could have just purchased this part right here, stuck it in there, and called it a day. But these Fords, the Fords that use this cover right here, it's not just F-150s, it's 250s, and there's a few cars that use this exact piece right here that are having the exact same issue. Either the ends are breaking off right there where I cut that, which is allowing that axle, the pin to slide upward, and the door's getting all floppy and stuff. So order that little hinge kit right there, and you're good to go. Now also bear in mind, this body part right here, yours may be good, so the only thing you may need to get is the hinge upgrade. And if that's true, great, you're good to go. You know, I sound like saying that a lot, don't you? Good to go, good to go. Hey, but it is, but you're good to go. But the one I'm going to be replacing is broken, it's cracked up inside here as well. So the housing, his housing's bad anyway. So it needed new housing, and while I had it, I wanted to upgrade his hinge kit. Let's get this thing changed out. The first thing you want to do is remove this part here, because that's where the pretty paint's at. So what you want to do is hook your screwdriver in behind that and pull that tab out. Then you'll slide that door off. But being I'm out here working by myself, I gotta set the camera down. But basically, pull that back, this will slide off. And once I get it off, I'll show you real quick. Now once you pull that lever back right there, you can see how the trailer rides on a little track that sets up inside here, that rides up inside this groove here, this hook here, those right there ride on the inside of it and just slide right out once you pull that back. Can you see right here, it has that little hook mechanism that locks onto that part right there that holds it in place. So the next thing we gotta do, we got 3 bolts here, 5/16 or 8. Now once you get those 3 bolts removed, you're not going to grab hold of it and just pull it out, because there's tabs inside there that's locking it into the fender. Now there's some videos showing people are wedging in behind this to wedge it out. Don't do that, because those fingers back here, which you'll see here in a moment, are riding on the edge of that fender inside there, and you can actually tweak and bend your fender on the inside and damage things. Not to mention, just imagine if your screwdriver or pick or whatever slipped and you scratched up your nice new paint job. You don't want to do that. So we got to go down and under. Got the LED light rigged up over here to give us a little bit of light, but here's what we got to look for. See right there and right there. Those are your locking tabs that you've got to push upward. You're going to take your finger and push up toward the filler neck. And when you push it upward, it should release it, and you'll take the bottom, release this one, push the bottom that way. It should release it enough that you can work it out of there. If not, you got 2 more up on top, way up here, and 1 on this side. So you got 4 of those clips total. So what I'm going to try is push that one and that one, releasing the bottom of the filler neck, or whatever you want to call it, contraption, the gas door mechanism, and pushing it outward that way, hoping to release it enough to work it out. Let's see if it happens that way. Okay, we finally got it loose. What you got to do is, you got to push this one in. You can see right here, these clips, how they work. They push in, unlock from the edge of the fender right here. And this right here. So what I end up doing is getting from the bottom, taking the flat, where to lay it at, flat screwdriver, and pushing in on that one, and pushing in on that one from the bottom, while I was pushing on the back side here, which helped those hooks get on the other side of the fender and release to come out. Once they do, you can kind of push, twist it a little bit, which will make these come unhooked. Now you can. You see where I got my little light set up there? I went up inside the fender right here with my arm and got to the top clip here and pushed it just enough. It helped a little bit too. Now it's tied up inside there. If you got some great big old huge arms, you may have a problem with that. So good luck. So now that we got this out, we'll just slide it right out like this. And there it is. Now we have the new one here, all modified and ready to install. Tilt it in like this. Open your gas door. Tilt it in like that right there. You want to bring this a little bit. Okay, here's what's got to happen. I need both hands to make it happen. As you rotate in your filler neck, you got to line it up with this right here as you put it in. Just kind of give you an eyeball here. As it goes in, you'll see here where it fits through that filler neck has to go through that hole right there. So I want to need both hands to line this up as I push it through. Okay, you can see I got the filler neck fed through. The little rubber gasket's coming out around it. I have not snapped it in yet. I just got it sitting there because I want to show you guys kind of what you're after. And once you get it pretty well lined up, you can see your holes here start to line up as well. Now at this point, all my holes are lining up. So just so that neck doesn't move around on me, I'm going to take 1 screw and go ahead and just don't tighten it. Just go in, get it started. I'm right-handed, people, and that ain't working. Here we go. So now that's going to hold the filler neck in place, as well this right here will. Therefore nothing should shift out of place. Push it. It's all lined up, snapped in. Put your screws in, tighten them. Get your screws tightened up. Don't over tighten them, because they're not super strong screws. You just want to tighten them up good and snug so nothing backs out. That's all you're after. Take your fuel door, line it up with those tabs right here. Get the bottom side lined up. Here we go. Those are sliding in correctly. You see the top and bottom that they're slid in correctly. Then you're going to push your fuel door back toward the bed of the truck. Okay, what I got to do is take one hand and push this in, while I take this hand and push it that way. So I'm gonna set the camera down for a moment because I gotta push this in and that at the same time. Now that we got it all installed, check it out. That's how it's supposed to work. Sweet. Now remember, whenever you go take this off, you gotta wedge this piece right here outward. Get your little small screwdriver, get in behind here, wedge this out this way, and that'll slide right off. A lot of people, that's where a lot of people make their mistake at right there. They keep pulling, tugging, pushing it in or something like that. You actually got to pull that outward like this a little bit. So there it is, all better. Y'all have a good one. Now let's take a look at the old one so I can explain a few issues I found with some of the videos on YouTube. Many of the videos on YouTube show that this door right here, this hinge pin that runs through this, they're talking about putting a screw in right there at the end of it. Well, the problem with that is, well, I'll tell you what, look real close if the camera picks it up. See how that pin rotates? Now, many of the videos I found on YouTube are showing put a screw in the end of this. Ain't gonna fly for a couple different reasons. One, they're talking about drilling right in the middle of it, putting a screw inside there. You're gonna make it wall so thin. Get that light going. You're gonna make the wall of that pin so thin it's not gonna hold anything. Two, some of them are saying just run a screw off to the side right here. Well, then you're locking the pin to the body of the casing here. So whenever this thing goes to rotate, it can't rotate because the screw's got it locked in place. So therefore, eventually, you're going to break the hinge pin down inside here. So those videos you find that shows putting a screw, hey, this is going to be a much easier way of doing things. No, false. It'll break again, I promise you. Like I said, it's going to make that wall so thin that it's going to end up breaking of that pin. Let me pull the pin out and show you. Get out of there. Well, any other time it'd turn your fall out. Ah, there it goes. I'm going to clean my desk now. Okay, so you see the end of that pin. It's not very thick at all. Now it's compared to my finger here. Now if you was to drill a hole in the end of that and run a screw into it, you're not going to have any wall thickness left. It's just not going to do it. And two, when you run a screw down inside there, it's going to make this right here expand outward, kind of like a drywall anchor. And it's going to lock itself into the walls of the body of the neck, the filler thingy, whatever the heck you want to call it. So no, just don't put that screw in the end of that. That's just wrong. Buy the correct pin. Now, if the body of your filler door here is in good shape, just buy that pin, replace it. You're good to go. This one, where's it at? Down inside here had a crack. So this one needed replaced anyway. The whole body did. So I elected to buy the new body and that new updated aluminum pin. And it's going great. It's been a while since I made the beginning part of this video to where I did the modification of the pin and installed it into the fella's truck. It's been a while since I did that. I'm just now finishing up the video, so hey. So don't put a screw on the end of that. Order that little pin. I'll put a link of it. Put a link to that little repair pin up in the corner or down in the description so you guys can get the proper part to fix it the right way. All you Ford owners that's having issues with that gas door, I really hope this video helped you out. Like I said, I want to apologize for the crazy camera issues, but hey, can't make perfect videos all the time, but it still gets the point across. It's still enough to help you guys out. It still shows me installing that pin to make the upgrade much easier. Now, you've seen in the video where I did do the upgrade. No, I installed a brand new gas door and everything because this one here's got a crack in it. You don't, if yours is okay, if your gas door is okay, the only thing you need is that little pin, and I'll put a link up here in the corner somewhere down in the description so you guys can order that little pin, and I'll include the part number I used on that truck to get the new gas door if you need to do it. So if this video helped you out, hit me with a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave me some cool comments down below, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Peace out. Later, y'all.